Uh, 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 Shut up. There you go. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Um, I don't know how long this stream is going to be. It might be a little bit of a quick one, but we'll see. So, thing is, let's just get right into it, I guess. I wanted to design a creature to turn into a 3D model, right? But the issue is, I had this issue. I want to make more 3D models, but uh, I don't think I have anything interesting and small enough to be a quick thing to design. Like, the ones that I'm interested in are ones like the crawling bishop tank, for example. That's a big old thing, right? And I can model that. Yeah, I can spend like a lot of time to do that, but I want to start with something small, something that's approachable so I don't get too overwhelmed. And the issue is, in Rust and Trenches, there isn't much small, right? There's not anything that is small that is interesting enough to spend time on to try and 3D model. Um, the only thing that was an option maybe would have been the little boars, the Tuskies, which are like the dog canines of Rom that they use in like trench combat. But that's just a boar, you know. So I didn't really find interest in that. But I have an idea. I have an idea. The reason I want to turn things into miniatures is obviously because then you can use them in tabletop games and stuff like that, which means they also not only need to be interesting and worth turning into a model, but also they need to be something that can actually, you know, do something in combat. And I I was stuck on this idea that we did last stream before the 3D stream. Uh where we did the Trojan horse design, right? And we thought up the big old like parade thing that corrupts corpses and joins the parade and whatever. And I like that design a lot. But the thing with that design is I can't model that for sure. Like for sure I can't model that yet. And the whole idea of the model is devoid of combat. That thing doesn't fight, right? It controls people's minds, but it doesn't fight. So there's not really a point of turning it into a model. But I wanted to use the Trojan horse idea. Uh, okay, I'm not good at concluding rants, so I'm just gonna skip ahead. Uh, just imagine there was like a nice transition into the idea I came up with. But basically, the idea I came up with is I want to make a miniature that is made out of smaller miniatures so that I can design small little guys, but then when they all come together, they're one big guy. Does that make sense? So it's not too daunting because I'm just designing a little miniature, but they should fit together in a way where they turn into a bigger creature. The idea that I had was to take that sort of Chinese dragon puppet and like people under a costume idea that we had from last stream, but do it in like a more soldier-esque way. I already designed the witch tier is made out of stone, and I think stone is very forgiving when it comes to modeling because it's not organic, it's not anything like that. So I want it to be statues. So hold on. Let me write down the idea. And you'll. So I had the idea of Chinese dragons, the Trojan horse, Trojan horse, then statues. Specifically, the type of statues that you see in like Elden Ring, like animated statues. I thought that would be really interesting. The reason I thought of statues was literally I uh I did a random word. I used a random word generator to just pick more words, and I got the word joint and still. And I was like, oh, okay, let's do statues then. Their statues are still. Um, but yeah, so Elden Ring, like the gargoyles, and also those cat bosses things, or dogs. I don't know what the hell they are. Those statues with the swords, right? Combinable golems. Yes, terracotta might be really interesting as well. Yeah, sort of like terracotta soldier style. Uh, and then uh, the thing that the reason I have these images pulled up is because I the idea that I wanted, where it's like one big creature made out of small creatures, kind of reminded me of that early, like the first illustration of a rhino done by somebody who was explained what a rhino was. And I remember it being like the sides of it looked sort of like shields and stuff. And I didn't remember it right. I searched it up, and this is sort of what it looked like. But the idea is I wanted to combine shields, statues, Trojan horses, and Chinese dragons together. And here's I sort of sketched some in my book. So the idea is, if this is like a the idea is I wanted it to have some sort of head, right? Which is its own separate creature, and then have sides, like the sides of its bodies are separate little units with like round, or like those big round shields with like spears sticking through, like this sort of, right? So you have like five characters that like slot into each other. And then I was thinking that there could be a space in between them where there's like a rider that's holding like a staff, or some sort of mage. So if you look at this from the top, what I was thinking was the shape of these guys would basically be this. They would have to be like, oh god, I can't draw. Like this, right? So that's them pointing outwards. Which means this guy has a space to go in here, and then we can have a square one that slots in between the gap of them. Does that make sense? Yeah, and also sort of like phalanxes. The phalanxes of soldiers, like where they lock together their shields. I thought that would be really interesting to use as inspiration. Yeah, like a phalanx. But the main goal is, no, it's not a main goal. I don't know. I keep using the wrong words. I don't want them to be human, right? I don't want them to be human. They can be humanoid, but I'm very much don't want them to be human. Just to make it interesting. But yeah, basically it turns into like a whole party. There's like the tank, there's the attackers, they probably have like less defense and more focus on like damage. And then there's like the support that's in the middle. And I thought it would be really interesting mechanically if we think about it like a D&D battle, or like a tabletop battle, that basically this thing can separate into its constituent components and attack different things separately, but this main guy in the middle is like the core. So if you kill that, it it destroys all of the rest, right? Which is a very simple mechanic. Like game wise, I see that a lot, but I feel like in tabletop games that doesn't really happen often. Where it's like there's loads of guys and then there's the main thing. Um, and then also because of the shape, you can pretty much make it as long as you want, right? You can just keep adding on to this. And I guess you can have the front and back be the same as well. I don't think we need like an ass. I think it's fine if we just have a front and back. No, I want them to be like magical statue creatures. The lore reason why they exist, I was thinking was there's something within Burla. So these are like sentient statue things in Burla. You don't want the core exposed. Yeah, so it's like the thing can separate out, but also they're there to protect this guy, right? Yeah, so I was thinking it would be interesting if the guys on the side didn't have a head. I had this fun idea where they were basically headless, uh, with like a spear here, and then a head on the shield, like some sort of animal head, maybe like a rhino, or animals that we can take inspiration from is like rhinos. That's not how you spell rhinos. Turtles. Uh, yeah, whatever. So the head be on the shield instead, and then they're like behind here, and maybe they have like hooved legs or something. I don't want human legs. I want some like weird something design. Yeah. Oh, you know what we could do actually? If we do like if this is like a side view, we can have them be really hunched. So you can see their like back here like this and their head is literally poking through the shield. So whatever head they have, I'm just gonna put a boar as default because I like boars, but I really want to avoid using boars because I've used way too many of them already. But yeah, something like this, like they're incredibly hunched and their shoulders are here, and then like they have the perfect angle to have like that pool cue like thrusting motion for the spear, and the spear is like resting on a cutout on the shield, and then the shield is sort of could serve like sort of like a triceratops, like a head crest kind of look to it. Something like this, right? Like that can work. And then we obviously need a way to have it come over like this, uh, to hide their body as well. So we'll have to think of how to protect that. Yeah, like a chest design as well, because we have the the pawns, the king, and a fucking a knight, I guess. But yeah, something like this would be really cool. An ox, yes, yes, an ox would be really good. Yeah, minotaurs, bulls, that sort of shit. Oh, we could call it like the brass bull or something. Like, yeah, actually, like bulls would be a really cool idea for them. The reason I pulled up the image of like the behemoth is, well, it just made me think of that, where it's like, I don't want like a dragon, I don't want a horse head. What's like close to a rhino that I can think of with like a really square body? And I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that depiction of like behemoth. Um, So we might want to use some of that. I really like the face shape of this, and I like the big ears. So what I was thinking was to help close this gap that you might see on the side of these guys, it just has these big old shield ears on either side, like an elephant, like this, right? And I love how the tusks come out like this, and the little like nose and lip. So we might keep all of that. I really like it. And then this guy can have like a fucking flamethrower or cone attack, just make him really dangerous. And then just a dude holding him up or something. But we want to give it horns as well if we're going with the brazen bull idea. Yeah, just some wild shit. Yeah, something like that. And then some figure in the middle that serves as the center point, you know. Is okay, question. Anybody who's like proficient in D&D tabletop like role-playing games, maybe like Pathfinder, is there an enemy that has differing defensive capabilities depending on the direction you attack them from? Does that exist, or is that like not used because it's just too tedious of a thing to keep track of? Because I've never, or I don't know of a creature that has like different ACs or uh damage negations from different directions. Because if that was a thing, or if we could implement that, this would be a really interesting creature to do it on. Because I also want the separate little guys to have that as well. Like the whole point is that they're very directional, and that's why they huddle together. So the back of them here is has maybe like a flesh core or something. Something weird definitely is going on. Like maybe it's like flesh inside of the statue that's animating them. Um, so the front of them has like an AC of 14, but then the back has just 8, for example. And we're gonna if you're playing on like a grid like this, right? And this guy is facing your fighter, then any attack from this point onwards to it works on a different AC, right? That could be interesting. Yeah, square based means you can put them closer to each other. True, we have to sort of also think, yeah, like if they're on a grid, how the hell do they fit together? I sort of want to make them be a 4x4 square like this. So it's basically considered a large creature, right? Is that a large creature or is that a huge creature? I forgot. But the fifth and sixth guy is basically like clipping over each other, but their hitboxes are this, and when they separate, they can start being considered like separate hitboxes. Yeah, it could exactly. So it like encourages them to basically stand like this next to each other, or like, yeah, like you said, in a line, basically trying to always face what they're fighting, which means like flanking them would be really fun, and picking the right targets would be really fun too. Oh, we can have like a ring in the nose. That could be cool. Large, huge is 3x3. Oh, okay. How would that work with forced movement mechanics? I mean, I don't want them to be like I love it when creatures in have like good weaknesses and interesting ways to exploit them. So if they have like a weakness, I think that's great because they can be really powerful in one sense, but when you find the crux of their design, it's like you can exploit it. And I think that's really fun because that means they're that means they're like a puzzle piece, and then they interact really interestingly with other creatures. If one creature is like a a jack of all trades, it's not really fun because there's nothing to, it's like good at everything. Or I mean, it can be fun, but yeah, that's not the kind of creature I like, you know? So yeah, if it's like the creature is really good at overwhelming people, so like if you're not ready to deal with them and not focusing the right targets, it can fuck you over really quickly because it's basically just spamming 5 attacks at you with a fucking support in the back line. But if you can like force move them out of position, or turn them around, or stun them, or get to the mage past them somehow, then you basically win really easily because they're easier to hit from one side. They take, maybe they don't have defenses against, like they don't take half damage. Maybe from the front they take half damage to really like incentivize fighting them from the back. Pelt people with magic. I don't know. What do you think would be interesting for the middle guy to do? Because I do think he should be. It should be obvious that he is a danger and that he should be dealt with. And it should be obvious that he's the core of it all. So if we're going with like the flesh theme of the back of the soldiers having flesh, it'd be really important to have this guy basically be a twig. Like he's this mage figure, uh like this, but as soon as like the figures around his legs go away, it's just this little stump with like a beating heart or something. So it's very clearly like red, red weak point game mechanic, look at me, hit me kind of deal. So I think like a mage would definitely be interesting. I don't think if he buffs his allies, I don't think that's gonna be too much or encouraging enough to have people attack him. I feel like we definitely do need him to like do some big heavy hitters. Yeah, and also I think it's very important that we have all of them be very, very simple, like as simple as possible, because there's a lot of them, and that can get very complicated very quickly. Like I'm already scared that the like directional hit point or like the directional accuracy thing is going to be too much because there's literally like 5 of them at least, or 6 of them at least, which means like they already fill up a battlefield and also turns on their own. So like each of them need to be very, very limited in actions. They can either just move and attack once, and they all just have one style of attack. The main interesting part of them is that they come together in a pack, so they don't need to be complex individually. Yeah, but also the fun part is, I guess, if it means that alone they can also just be a very small like unit on their own, so you don't have to like use the whole creature in combat. Like you don't have to have the party fight the whole damn thing. You can have just the little minotaur guys fight, or just be normal enemies in the location, or the mage guy on his own with some other enemies. Or we can make variations of the minotaur, like because it's modular. I think it's going to be really interesting to like make different versions of them, so you can have like spear sides, but then also a version that has like a fucking scimitar or something, instead. You can't just run away and ignore them. I mean, I think it's fine if you can just run away and ignore them. That makes it another. There's a mage. So if you just have him fucking pelting them with like damaging ranged spells, I think that's enough to encourage them not to just keep running because they're just gonna, And I think preventing them from running away is also just the job of the DM to a certain degree. I don't think it needs to be able to like sprint 40 feet per turn to catch up to people. Like it can be slow, and just set the fight in a location that forces them to deal with it. Because the whole strong suit of it is direction. So why not have them fight it in an alleyway so they can't actually move past it? What if they get flanked? What if it's the fight is in like a tight corridor and there's only three of them in the front and two of them have gone around to flank them from the back, cornering them off, you know? Can't you do that with every enemy in Fury? Can't do what? You mean like put them together into a big one? I mean, yeah, of course. Like mechanically, them being stuck together doesn't really do anything. I guess except for like the directional AC and stuff like that. But besides that, yeah, you can just stick enemies and have them crowd together. But it's just fun to like design in this way, have something that's intentionally designed to be used that way. Yeah, I actually like this design a lot. Just the horns coming out of the have them encircle the party. Yeah, yeah. Like I'm sure like parties typically have like really good movement abilities to them. Like okay, something like this. And then what do we put on their back? Because I don't want their back to be exposed from the top too much. I guess I can curve this inwards, this shield. It's like they have their heads stuck in a door. Yeah, basically a whomp. I'm putting it in the Rest in Trenches universe. I think it's fun. It's gonna be like a weird creature in the in Burla. Burla is lacking in creatures for sure. And also, I've just been like very reserved with the amount I'm pushing concepts in Rust and Trenches. So I definitely want to like push the envelope and sort of try and see how much I can get away with designs in that world. Um, so I think like something a lot more fantastical like this definitely I want it to exist. Make the shield shoulder armor. Yeah, we can. Well, and let's try and. I mean, do we want an ass? It would nicely end off the design if it has an ass, but like, like who's the ass? What does the ass do? It's kind of goofy to have just an ass running around. So I think it doesn't need an end piece. You could just have it. I mean, wait, hold on. If we're having them fit together like this, you can just have one more of these guys on the ass. Just have another guy like this. End it off if you want. So yeah, it doesn't need that. Doesn't need that at all. Okay. So, I guess let's look up some bull statues. Ancient bull stat. Give me suggestions for like styles of statue that you think would be very interesting because I don't want them to just look like realistic depictions of those creatures. I definitely want to pull from like more stylized versions of statues and stuff. Like this. Look. Like this is really beautiful. I love this. Definitely more in this direction. Uh, Like exaggerated artistic interpretations. Yes, this. I like these little swirls and curls on this one. I like that a lot. They're definitely doing that somewhere, somehow. Uh, and this. Minoan statues? Let me search that up. Hmm. I'm trying to see how I might be able to use that. Have animal statues? Oh, they're very simple. Goodness. Yeah, not quite right. I think a little too old. A little too old. I can't see the chat right now, so give me a sec. What else? What else? Medieval manuscripts. Well, yeah, but that's not statues. I'm trying to find styles of statues. Like the way the stone is used and like the shapes they use and stuff, and I can't really use things from manuscripts. Michael Jackson? Yes. This is interesting. It's very grainy, but it's enough to get the idea across. I like the like very big, bold shapes. Terracotta Warriors. I looked them up and there's not really much that piques my interest about them. They are very they're quite realistic depictions. I want more like exaggerated uh ways of yeah. Yes, whatever the fuck this is. This kind of like from that time where we were still not that good at illustrating animals, like a little funky. I really like what they did with the hair here. I don't know why they did that, but it's really interesting. How can I get more of this? This. You see how this way of making the statue sort of looks similar to like how the behemoth dude is illustrated? More of this goofy lion. Where are goofy lions? They're not goofy, they're cool. I need goofy. I definitely like the eyes on these kinds of statues. So we're for sure gonna use this kind of eye. I like that a lot. I like how exaggerated the teeth are as well. Like I like teeth in designs. I mean my logo is literally just giant teeth. So yeah, definitely wanna maybe incorporate some of this style. Yeah, look at this thing. I like this. This is really nice. What do we think the animal that's riding on its back should be? Actually, I know exactly what it should be. You know what it should be? Because we're doing minotaurs, bulls, it makes me think of water buffaloes. And you know what's on water buffaloes' backs? Those fucking birds. Let it be a bird. That's what it should be. Some weird bird guy on its back. I think that makes total sense. Nah, not monkey. Bird. Bird. Just about to say bird. Yeah. On the same wavelength. I got you. Don't worry. Okay. Question. Do we think there is... Ooh, this one's really interesting. Kind of... What cultures are these from? Look at this. I like that a lot. Oops. I like the exaggeration of the fur turning into like these curls. That's really good. I like that a lot. We're definitely using that along its back, along the Minotaur's backs as well. Okay, what was that about to say? I was about to ask, do we think there's any other material at play here? Or are we going strictly stone and flesh? And also the flesh thing was just something I sort of threw out there. Hold on, control E. The them having like fleshy cores was sort of something I just threw out there. Are we going with that? Do you think that's the best or the most interesting way to go about it would be to do like a flesh core? It'd definitely be the most body horror esque, obviously, because it's flesh. But like, if we did mechanical, I feel like it wouldn't contrast the the statues enough, you know? Bronze, maybe? Yeah, like sorry, I kept saying or I kept saying statues. I didn't strictly say that the statues needed to be made of stone either. So yeah, like maybe bronze or something like that would be interesting as well. I don't like flesh. Fur and feathers? No, no. If we do fur, then we lose the statue point. I mean like the thing that's inside of them. What if it's like clockwork? Yeah. Hmm. But I did already establish that Burla is kind of like a living city. Yeah, let's just go with flesh. It's like it means that both materials are very easy to paint. I'd say that's pretty easy to paint. Like you can make something look like a statue pretty quickly. It's like one color. Yeah, how do these things move? That's a good question. Maybe that can affect the way like I was sort of thinking they would just glide along the ground the same way as like those statues from Elden Ring, but that doesn't really make sense. What if they do like how much can they move? I'm imagining with the arm and the way they like shift around is very stiff, the same way as those Elden Ring bosses, like the cat things that smack you over the head with a big sword. Silly ass stone scraping noises. Yeah, exactly. Do we think it walks with legs? Like its legs, these legs. Or we could make it more literal. Or not more literal, but like if we just encase this whole thing in like a block and then just have the bottom of it be like a horseshoe crab. That would be kind of weird. I don't know why it'd be that way. Like at the bottom it's just like these insectoid legs. So it looks like they're just gliding along, but it's actually like a bunch of little legs moving them along. Yeah, we haven't considered how they get mana yet. Maybe the city fuels them. I can just say that as an excuse. Yeah, but the hair curls like attracting mana definitely works as well. I think that's a bit too out there. Yeah, I'd say just move like sort of like a stiff statue. Yeah, I like okay. Let's stop motion animate. Yeah, sort of that sort of style, yeah. Kind of jittery and stiff. Definitely want those curls on the back. I don't know how we're gonna do the head crest yet. I think it'd be the coolest if the shield like literally just scrapes along the ground. If we have it above the ground, it's I think it adds a layer of menacing if you can just hear it scraping as they chug along. And you can see their shoulders like bobbing up and down sort of. Oh yeah, I guess it would be good to have that be shoulders then. Yeah, somebody did say like big shoulder pads, so we can just have their heads be stuck like this and then have like big shoulder pads with like tassels or something. Way big. Well, we'll have to see how big, but I gotta draw these from a different angle. You know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of that. Uh, yes. What if we do this? What if we do one of these? Just the dude fighting his own shield. It's such a hilarious but also like aggressive as fuck motif. I think we should use that if it's possible. Well, let's see if we can. So we move away from Bull, I guess, because now he has. But yeah, then we can use like those teeth. It's literally fucking fighting the shield. But then sadly we lose the fact that the head is sticking out, I guess. Yeah, that kind of sucks. No, because the issue is like if we have to have the it biting the shield, then we can't have the head sticking out that far, unless we like just angle the shield like this. I guess have it be more of a ram. Um, I'm using a pen that's way too big. I mean, it does kind of work if we have the shield be a triangle instead. Or just change the silhouette. The head doesn't have to stick out. Like, that is kind of cool. I like that the head sort of seals off. Oh, and then the hair can just like close off the rest, I guess. Just have them have a big old head like this, and then their body sticking out from behind. So it kind of makes it so their head becomes a part of the shield shape. So this is the bottom half, and then the top half is the top of their head. And then also these like curved or like curls become way more prominent in their design as well. So their head's just huge, like a big old bobblehead. And then it makes it kind of unclear if that's like their actual head or if it's like a mask or something, which I like. And it sort of makes them on their own look like that kind of Chinese dragon style thing. This big head. Yeah. And then the big mitten hand holding the spear like this. And it's just like locked into the shield like a fucking cue, like a pool cue. I like that a lot because it makes their shape like really strong. It's like a really strong silhouette. You're giving chat attention, right? I mean, I'm sort of not. Uh, I'm currently being a very bad, like neglectful parent to the chat. I'd say I've definitely not interacted enough. So yeah, apologies if any of you like fall off the balcony or accidentally get into the chemical cupboard or something like that. I've not been good. Just been very neglectful. Yeah, and then we can have like one. I really okay. You know what would be really fucking cool. I really like the idea because the base is gonna be this shape anyway, right? Um, this being the front. By the way, this is the front. I guess now it's gonna look like this because of the shield. But because it can stretch so far back, I really want this back leg just like far out, like this, and just to really bring home the point that he's like just forcing the fuck out of this thing, just forcing it forward, and it just looks like a damn like just scraping along the ground and just slowly dragging it. Yeah, like sort of a linebacker style look. I should have divorced sooner. Damn. Yeah, this. I love this, actually. It is so disgustingly aggressive. Oh, and we can show, like, really just fat fucking lats here. That could be fun. Or hair, I guess, is also fine. But yeah, I like that a lot, even though it's like a really shitty sketch. It really has a strong identity, I think. Like it's blocky enough to be, like that sort of chest piece style thing going on. Make it look like the front of an old train. Yeah, yeah. Um hmm. I'm still thinking like what the shield is. Or what kind of shield it is. Are we going with like the uh this shield? Uh, what's on the shield? Like a snowplow truck. Yeah. If I do like the plow thing, it's gonna be too straightforward. I definitely want the bottom to be worn out though. Like you can see that it's like piling up. Yeah, we can have like rubble and stuff pile up on the front here. What type of shield is it? Does it have like the fucking little nipple in the front? It needs like a strong design as well, but I can't think of a style of shield that would fit that shape. Hold on, I gotta draw it from like a different angle so it makes sense. So the shield is pretty much just this, which is not really a nice looking shape. I guess I can curve it. Yeah, but the tower shields and stuff, their design normally comes from the way they're painted, right? Like they have a really nice design on them. But these guys wouldn't be painted, would they? Or would they? Who would have painted them? Yeah, no, none of our shields look like it's just a very exaggerated shape. Or is there a way that we can like sort of make it I think the issue here is also um I kind of need to make a 3D model of this to get an idea of what kind of shield would look good. Because we also have to consider that these guys are going to be next to each other as well. Uh, so we have to see if they fit together properly when they become one. Why? Let go. Let go. Thank you. The writer guy painted them. Yeah, that could be fun. I'm worried that if we give them too much here, they won't look right when they're fit together. Because the two back guys will basically be exposed, right? The two back guys are facing away from each other like this. And there's nothing like hiding the interior of them. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a surprise that they like break open into multiple creatures. That's not like you can see it, obviously, they're made up of multiple creatures. But just is there something that we can do to like make them look like they're supposed to fit together more? The issue is with these like things on the back is when it comes together, those curve inward. So it's just gonna look like this, like that. and then the guy standing in the middle, and then the headpiece. So we might want to like cut them off here, you know? Like have them just stop halfway. We'd have to see. Yeah, I don't know. That might be nah. It loses too much. Yeah, I think it's fine if they run all the way down the back. Because if it's either they work well as one unit, but then they look off when they're separate, or we have it look worse when they're together. Like they don't fit perfectly and like hide each other or whatever. But at least when they're separate, they still work on their own. Wait, wings? Yeah, wings. Wings are a really good idea. Actually, yes. Wings could be the way to do it. Like close that little gap. Winged bulls. Yeah, and I mean that's like a theme in these as well, so wings do make sense. Yes, wings, for sure, wings. Yeah, yeah, like really chunky, just like to help close that space. Shield. Yeah, I think just like a round shield like this does work. Yeah, it does work. No spike on the nipple, true. Maybe. Well, I like the nipple spike though. Who doesn't like the nipple spike? I mean, apparently you don't. How dare you? Nipple spikes are great. Do we want like a wing design on the shield as well? I think that's gonna be overkill. Many wings. Eyeballs? Eyeballs? Yeah, that can work. I like that. What if those are actually its eyes? That would be cool. That is how they see. So it's not even those top ones. It's the shield. Just like a stone eye moving around. I like the eye. Thank you very much. And you know what? I think a spear is a little too generic. Do we want something different from a spear? We can have like a trident. Or like one of these. Like something with just a little bit more surface area. Or do we think spear is good? I just feel like something that should have a little bit more oomph to it. A labyrinth pattern on the shield would be really cool, yeah. Maybe a glaive, I don't know what these things are. I know what a glaive, I know the word, it's just that it doesn't come to mind what that looks like. Oh, right, this. Glaive. Or if we go with the Minotaur thing, like, yeah, halberd might work too. Just to have something more to the shape of it. Hold on. That's just a fork. Yeah, just a little bit of something. Bill hooks. Oh yeah, you're right. Bill hooks are fun pole arms. Let's try that. Hmm. It does kind of make sense, right? It does kind of make sense. Cause if they're like designed for shield combat, what about a cannon? Fuck. Blast them. I mean, that's what the head is for, I think. That would be really fun if the head has like just a cannon in the mouth. I do think the rooks should definitely just be close ranged. Guandao? No, no. I think it'll clash too much with the like look we're going for. I like the bill hook. I do think I like the bill hook. Well, we can always change it. It's not something that we need to like stress over that incredibly hard. But yeah, there you go. I'm actually incredibly happy with this design. Like that is a really satisfying, nice little design that just like stands on its own well. And I can definitely picture how I can go about modeling this. Um It's definitely more daunting than the witch tier, obviously, because it's more complex. But it being a statue definitely, again, still gives me some wiggle room, roughness wise and stuff. I'll have to look up some more tutorials because I don't know how I'd go about starting it. Like, do I have to make a bunch of like simple shapes first that are vaguely the shape of this and then do that? I still don't know how to like extrude one shape from another well, so I'll have to look that up. Yeah, I like that a lot. I really like that. Up the wing a little. I like the I really like the striped pattern on this guy's hair. I think I'm gonna take that sort of like implemented here. I don't know how the arm's gonna come into that. I'll have to see. I definitely like the idea of the hair just coming down all the way. Not like ending in curls or anything, just like same as like this statue here. Just blocking the entirety of this shape pretty much. We can just have the arm come out like this, like out of the hair. And the hair can like knot together in the back into like, more of a this thing. Yeah, there would be a gap there. Nothing here. Fine. And the hand's just a human hand. We can imply like a little bit of texture. We add like extra lines here on the elbow. So it looks like it's like a hairy arm. Can do that at the back of the leg too. Have to skedaddle. Okay, take care, take care. Thanks for joining. Oh, wait, we for shit. I completely forgot about the flesh part. We're gonna have the weak point be on the back. Completely forgot about that. So we can actually have the hair part here, and then have like the flesh portion here, and then have it come back in again. Uh, Hold on, let me draw like a back angle of this guy. These are the wings. This, and then the curls on the back. And then the hair sort of parts out like this. Elbow. Spear. Like this, and then we can see like the flesh side. And then it closes up again and goes into the tail. Yeah. We can have the hair be like wrapped around the waist like a kilt. That definitely works. Yeah, that works enough. Who's in the jar? My girlfriend. My girlfriend's in the jar. Uh, when I was playing games, she was blocking the screen too much, so I decided to just stuff her into the jar, to save space. Drowning in money. Yeah, I like that. I like that. That works. You can definitely just make it look sort of like a heart motif, and just like tubes and curly, disgusting stuff going on. Just a hard cutoff to where the stone is. Like some cracks as well, I think. I might give sculpting this a shot tomorrow. Sculpting is the only thing in Blender I suck at. It seems fun. Hey, how dare you? I'm gonna sculpt it. You can't sculpt it. But yeah, no. Go ahead, go ahead. I'd love to see. Or I fully encourage it. I'm still gonna sculpt it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Not that it doesn't matter. Like if you sculpt it, please do share. I'd love to see it. Yeah, I hope these drawings are good enough. They don't really they're not the best at the moment. I don't know you'll manage to crack the design from this. I'll definitely need to do it or work on it a little more till I can like use it as reference. I'll do like a um you can try first, but after this I think I'm going to have to do like a uh front, back and then side view. So I can do that thing in Blender to match it properly and get all the proportions that I want right. And you know what? I think we're gonna leave it there because the thing is, I just want to get back to 3D modeling. I've had so much fun with it. I just want to start modeling again. So instead of stressing out about modeling the other two or like designing the other two, I think we can just leave it at this. Model this guy, finish him first, and then we can just have him. right? And then we can build off of him. So we just do him first, and then we can do the rest. It doesn't have to be all at once. Like I design all three and then model all three. We can just model this guy because they're also supposed to be able to be just standalone things, right? Genuinely addicting. It is like the. It is such a powerful ability to have 3D modeling. Like I don't know why I've been so I mean, I know exactly why I've been so hesitant to learn it before now because I just thought it was very scary and daunting and stuff like that. But after I started the donut tutorial, like I think the donut guy, like the guru, was really good at just telling you like calm down, don't worry. Cause the thing is, yeah, Blender is really fucking terrifying. There's so much shit, and he's just like, just do these little things first, right? So don't click around randomly, which is what I tried to avoid doing at first, because that's when you get like really overwhelmed, is when you start clicking around. So I just followed every single step that he did. Um, and it became very much like it very quickly became a lot more perceivable, like it turned from sort of a cosmic horror-esque thing into like yes, I sort of understand this now, even though I can't use its full potential yet. It becomes a lot less daunting now that I have the basic, like, tiniest bit of groundwork. I can very slowly like add stuff here and there as I need it. So Um, but yeah, it's such a powerful tool because I made something in 3D. I drew it 2D. I modeled it 3D, and now I'm holding it in my hand. Right? That's the weird part of it, is like this didn't exist. This didn't exist before now. I made it and I can hold it. Right? Which is different from like a 2D artwork, which yeah, I created it, I can look at it, but holding something is like that's like a whole different level. Blender learning experience where the words coming out of your mouth. Yeah, but it's just so much fun. It's so much fun. Like I really think it was a good idea that I literally just jumped right into doing the witch tier. Like I watched half a tutorial about donuts and then 5 minutes of a sculpt tutorial, and I was like, fuck it, okay, let me do my own thing. I think that's really good. I think that was a good idea. Instead of just bogging myself down with countless tutorials to try and get good before I even dare to touch on my own stuff, I went immediately to it. And I think that really hooked me into it because I immediately got a chance to apply the few little things that that I learned. And now if I need to learn something new, I just have to find that new thing and just add it slowly. So I bet I'm gonna need to watch another tutorial before I sculpt this because the witch tier was easy in the sense that it's just one geometric. It's one shape. It's just a big cone cylinder thing, right? And I can just sculpt off of that. But this is like more of a complex shape, so I can't just start with a cone and then shape it into this. I need to sort of. I think I need to like extrude out a rough body shape out of simple tubes and stuff first, and then shape those. But I don't know how to do that yet, so I'll have to find a tutorial, which will be fun. This is more complex, yeah. But I think it's a nice middle ground because it's still a statue. It's big, simple shapes, still very like forgiving. It's just another step forward from the witch tier. Um, yeah. I genuinely, I think I can probably model the fucking bishop tank at this point. Like I think I can do that because the crown of the witch tier was like a sort of tedious 3D shape to like extrude and blah 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 whatever. But like the coffin tank is, or not the coffin tank, the crawling bishop is basically just a giant box with different details on faces, on its different faces, which are like flat um details that just get stuck onto the box. Don't care about topology and you would be okay. Oh yeah, yeah. The nice thing is I'm just making these to print. So the topology and all that like optimizing stuff that you'd have to go through for like animating or turning it into a game model and stuff like that, I don't need to worry about that. Perhaps I need to go into it slightly when I start making multiple variants of the same model, right? Because then I need to learn how to do rigging. And with rigging, then I need to learn how to like properly do the topology around the joints to not make it like crumple in on itself, I think. I'm just guessing, by the way. I think that's what I would need to learn in that case. The more topology, the better. Yeah, yeah, I know, I know. Or it just doesn't matter as much to have like clean topology. OC, so I have to do printing and topology, and I want to pull my hair out. Oh boy. I mean, I did the tier and that was fine. Unless you like want to pose them and shit like that, then I'm sorry for you. Oh boy, rigging. Yeah. Hey, look, if I think it's fun. Like I'm very enthusiastic about it now. So I think I'm down to learn even if it's gonna be really tedious. I literally spent, was it 3 hours? I spent 3 hours on the crown of the witch tier. It's the simplest little shit. It's a star. It's just a star. But I made tiny little mistakes as I went along that just fucked the topology of that thing so hard that it was impossible. Like I had to redo it like 6 times. It was hilarious. It was wonderful to just yeah try to wrap my head around it. But I did learn from it. Rigging is very relaxing when it goes well. I mean, that seems like that's to be said about every part of 3D modeling is it feels nice and really good when it works. That's like the whole of 3D modeling, isn't it? When it doesn't work, that's when the hair starts falling out. That's when you start going bald. Weight painting? Oh. So weight painting is where you basically tell the mesh how much each part of it can move when the rig moves. When the bones move, how much can each part deform, right? Is that what weight painting is? Rigging a pistol right now? How the fuck do you rig a pistol? You are in the zone and forget to eat, or I will die. Yeah, I'll die and suffer. Yeah, very much. Do for a year every day. I mean, I can't wait. So yeah, I'm gonna end the stream for now because, well, if you guys didn't know, it's currently 4 a.m. and 27 minutes over where I am. So actually, I started streaming after midnight. My schedule's completely fucked, so don't worry. But yeah, I started streaming after midnight, and it's probably starting to become time where I maybe need to go to sleep. I'm gonna make a turnaround of this guy tomorrow, and then I can go right into modeling. I'm gonna for the guy who said, or for the person who said they wanted to like try modeling as well. When I finish the turnaround, I'll definitely like try and post that in the server and on like YouTube in the community section and stuff. So look out for that in case you want that to help you figure it out. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'm gonna head off for now.